The transition from banking into consulting, I just followed what I thought was the plan for me.
What made you transition from corporate banking into entrepreneurship and consulting?
So I started my banking career when I was 17, and a couple of years into that banking career, I've made this prophetic statement that I'm only going to do this work for 25 years, and then I'm going to be an entrepreneur. So I said to my boss, like, you got to lay me off. And if you know some of my backstory, I didn't take time off after some tragedy, and I just worked right through it. So I was like, listen, lay me off. This is the time. And he said, no, we can't do it. But a few months later, he came back to me and he's like, all right, you were right. We're going to give you a package. And that was 24 years into my career. The bank I worked for was really generous. The transition from banking into consulting was less like thoughtful and intentional, more, I'd say, divinely inspired. I just followed what I thought was the plan for me. As a banker, about 10 years before the end of my career, so call it 15 years ago, I actually went to what is now my office, One Accord, and I was there for a business networking event. And I met the guys at One Accord, and I kind of looked around the building, and I was like, this place is pretty cool. Like, these guys are really cool. What they do is really cool. Maybe I could do this when I grow up. Little did I know, 10 or 15 years later, I'd be an owner in the company and be CEO. And as of a couple of weeks ago, we just bought the building that we're in. And so, all of this, it wasn't necessarily planned, but it was imagined, right? It was in the vision. I just did the things that I thought would take me closer to that vision.